Okay.
And that's how I ended the world the last time.
Oh my god.
It's about time. That world was... Ooh.
I'm a bad influence on everyone. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm in this spot now.
You're in that spot now. Why am I here? We don't know. Find out next time.
I'm not playing Wilby now.
Hey, you're not allowed to end the stream now.
Damn it. I'm so fucking nervous. Hi, everybody, and welcome
hi.
to Maxed and Doubled. The first time I've actually gotten to say that and believe it.
Believe it.
He's practiced it many times, but the belief wasn't there.
In front of
No,
I
the
really
just-
felt it, that one.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
very
we've
proud
been
of
here for
myself.
an hour and a half ish, and he's literally just been saying, "And welcome to Maxed and Doubled."
Yeah,
and it's been a while.
It's
Yeah.
weird though. It was in the corner for a long time, just a face in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his safe spot, really.
Yes,
It really shouldn't be. There's a battle axe over there.
That's why.
And there's a katana over there, so...
Nothing's more safe than self-defense.
Welcome, everybody. We are fucking idiots and we love it.
Well.
This
Speak for
is
yourself.
the first episode
I hate it.
of Maxed and Doubles set in the Genovoa world. We have a couple things to cover before we start. First of all, the giveaway on Twitter has closed. We will continue the giveaway here on Twitch, so stick around for more details on that. But the Twitter giveaway has now closed, and we will take names from the retweets, likes, and follows on that tweet as entries in the giveaway. Which, by the way, you will be winning one of these, Google Home Mini. Next, just wanted to cover really quickly that for everyone out there watching who might be commenting or planning on commenting or anything like that, this is a very heavily homebrewed game. The entire world has been made from scratch by myself and Twice there in chat, and so are some of the rules. So please, if you are watching and feel like we're doing something wrong, we're probably not, so you can shut your face.
Unless it's me.
I'm very much a proponent of the rule of cool, and I'm trying to play this relatively realistically at the same time. So if something's within the rules but also ridiculous and physically impossible, I'm probably going to veto it and they're not going to be able to do it. Alternatively, if they're trying to do something that's just slightly outside the rules but they're making it sound believable, I might let them do it. On top of that, a lot of homebrew rules coming into play here. Most of all, of course, being the maxed and doubled rule, where instead of rolling for damage on a crit, we just take the maximum of the dice, then double it, and then add our modifiers, which does include enemies as well. So I do that too.
Fails on saves versus spells, I'm assuming.
Unless that's really crazy thing.
Oh! I'm yet to think about that, actually. I've forgotten about that,
You know what?
and I'm yet to think about it, but I like the idea.
Let's just try
And to
get past
compensate for that,
2DK.
of course, all of our HP has been maxed. So all the players have maxed their HP and will be maxing their HP every level.
Single digit.
There will be no
Single
rolling
digit,
for
single
HP.
digit.
Yeah, I know. Never getting out of the singles. Or the
That's true.
Double
very,
digits.
very true.
Hit me here, man. Right in the love life.
Hear me in the lungs.
what level?
Duh. Never getting out of the singles. Come on, man. You made the joke.
Yeah.
Why am I explaining it to you?
I'm also thick, so let's be honest. I don't think anyone expected me to realize.
I did, and I'm a little disappointed.
We had
You
high
should
hopes.
be. I'm disappointed in myself, as per usual. Hey,
How are we getting through this session so far?
we're going
I think we're
fucking
doing
great.
pretty
I'm
good.
trying.
We're
I'm
doing good?
trying
Sorry.
really hard
Great.
to postpone the start of this session.
Rate us
Can
down
I just
below.
show everyone real
Oh,
quick?
sorry.
I'm not going to. Can I have your book, please?
You sure can't.
Each of the players also has a custom-made book
Quick
that's
peek.
been done for them with all of their information. There's calendars and stuff in there. They'll be noting things down there. I think maybe after we stop using these particular booklets, which will last at them until level 4, or should do, we might release them. Depends how much sensitive information has been noted down or otherwise. So I'll consider that. But these are really cool booklets made by, of course, Theophania in chat, who is the
You might
backbone of
have
MA.
to
She
show
likes
off
to claim.
wins just because of the art that'll be on it.
She's really the carrier, though.
She really does carry
Everything.
Everything to do with this everything.
Theophania is amazing.
I have so many notes and it's kind of ridiculous. So,
If you are new to the channel, subscribe.
Yes,
and
please do,
When I say
actually.
subscribe, I am not talking about YouTube, but I am also, if you're watching us on YouTube after the fact, but we actually have a subscribe button because we are
YouTube has that function.
because we are affiliates.
we are affiliates.
Oh, right.
So-
Yeah.
I looked at that camera because you were looking at it. That was a mistake.
And if not, fuck you. But yeah, it's
Dudes, I'm fucking nervous. This is 2 years of work that's gone into this.
each character.
That's enough to make anyone nervous, I think.
Oh yeah, we've all had our characters for in thought for I don't know, a year or so. It's
Yeah, something like that.
I've given my character absolutely no thought.
2 years.
oh yeah.
2 years. 2
So
years.
no pressure, except
No pressure at all.
except gravity.
Without further ado,
It's just to bring you down, really.
I think we'll start
Breathe.
the session.
Breathe, Oscar.
Oh, you said
It's only
freeze.
your baby. It's fine.
It's okay to drop it sometimes. Well, did a great start. That's your old.
A chill westerly wind flows across the northern coasts of Dalandar, shifting a light covering of clouds over the Kaiman Empire. It is the year 2692 of the Common Era. In prior years, the Empire had expanded its reach, pushing further south into land yet unclaimed by the Cro-Magnon Accord. The eastern tract remains impassable and undesirable for conquering powers, allowing the hardy citizens of Yoln to live content in neutrality as they watch the brewing political tensions from afar, possessing the sole route through which the Umbral network reaches the southern regions. Recent events have stirred relations between the two opposed powers. Now, the Empire mobilizes its army to prepare for war, conscripting soldiers to fight and taking full advantage of its capital city's status as the most populated on Genoa. Kimeria is often referred to as the melting pot of the world, and rightfully so. A conglomeration formed over many years of conquering and being conquered in return, no singular demographic forms any significant majority. As we drift in on the westerly breeze, it is here in the City of the Prism, on day 262 of the year 2692, and just a blip on the cosmic radar, that our story begins, unceremoniously in a back alley. Glenn, would you like to introduce your character?
All right.
Just jumping in.
A thin, late 20s man wearing all white, which in this case means white shorts and a white shirt, covered completely in dark purple tattoos. His gaunt face frames haunted eyes, and his brown hair and beard seem recently trimmed. And some of the tattoos seem fresh. He's about 6'2", maybe 70 kilos, if that, and he is clearly malnourished.
Archibald. Muffled sounds of bustling city streets pulse their way into your aching consciousness as you gradually come to. Your nose twitches involuntarily, realizing in a sudden olfactory barrage that you must be in the vicinity of a selection of meats, fresh and otherwise. Gaining control of your motor function, your fingers scrabble at rough cobblestones, and an instinct you didn't know you had causes you to grasp for an object that must be absent. Your sleeveless vest catches on something, foiling your weak attempt to lift yourself to your knees, and rewarding you with a taste one may only liken to a drunkard's well-used latrine. A second attempt worsens the throbbing in your head, but you manage to crawl to a small wooden baton that you spot nearly buried in a nearby garbage pile. Tucking it into the folds of your tunic, you feel your strength returning as you stand. Your gaze finally lifts and meets the bronze-coloured trim of a coat not 20 feet from you. The coat in question adorns an elven figure, slim and elegant, toting the graces of high society as the epitome of elven stereotypes, though with a welcoming expression that belies those very classifications. You feel you should recognise the figure, and as you rack your brain for information, it becomes apparent that a lot is missing. Before you can muster a word, the elf takes a step forward. Josh, would you like to introduce your character?
Well, the first thing you know about Sickles Newland is first thing you see is he's dipped in prestidigitation. Head to toe, perfectly beautiful, handsome high elf with semi long greenish blonde hair, few bit braided here and there, high cheekbones, strong jaw, piercing blue eyes, and he's kind of got this kind of confidence around him. He wears a lovely blue coat. It's edged with silver trims and all tied with a brown leather belt. Very kind of big, thick. If you note a little bit more, is that he's got brown tunic underneath with a basic cream-colored shirt underneath that. He's got very well boots, and yeah, again, like I said, his presentation, he is spick-span, holding a silver-like cane that resembles a bit of a mechanicalness to it. It's hard to decipher, but looks very sure of himself.
As you step forward towards the figure that you've just watched crumple to the ground and then
Take a
stand
step
back up
back.
again, what would you like to do?
You okay there? You alright there? Is everything alright?
I
Sorry, you just
don't
didn't...
know you.
If I don't know you. You sure you don't look? Do you need food? I can get you something if you want. I'm sure I can get somewhere. We need a butcher. I'm pretty sure. I know the guy. Are you lost? You don't look like you're around here.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you at least have a name or something?
I don't know.
I reach into my pocket and I grab a bit of it's all right. I just got a bit of scraps. There's something for you to eat. You look malnourished, and no one likes that. Here, have some. And I slowly take out a bit of beef jerky or something to that extent. Like, it's good for you.
Takes it, eats it. That's
It's been in there for a little bit, but when
Yeah.
someone's malnourished, you can't really beg to choose. Say, I do have a place. There's the butcher around here. Like I said, know the guy. If you want, I could be able to take you there. I'm sure he can help you out and give you something to eat. Unless you just want to stay here and just wallow in the pit that you have.
okay. Take me.
Great, let's go. And I guide him towards the butcher.
Okay. As you turn with the tattooed man in tow, from around the corner on the main street, two Kime sentries, which you know to be the guards of the region, come around the corner. As they spot you, the two of you, they reach for the hilts of their weapons and they bring up the hilt, which they have swords. Each of them has a sword, and they bring up the hilt to their mouth, and you can actually see some runes going around the hilt. And Silkus, you recognize this, knowing the city. You recognize this as a message enchantment. They bring up the hilt, they talk for a moment, you can't hear what they're saying, and then sheathe their weapons once again and call to you, "Halt!"
What seems to be the problem?
And they look directly at the tattooed man,
No.
they start talking amongst
You look to
themselves a
me.
little bit.
You look to me first, okay? What seems to be the problem? You halt me. I wouldn't want to be halted.
You seem to be harboring a wanted criminal.
Harboring?
We know you're around these parts, Silkus.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
This
You obviously know who
man,
I am then.
as you know, has a 50,000 gold bounty on his head.
That I did not know.
That surprises me. You see that this guard is blonde-haired. He's a human. And as this person's talking, the other one, a blue dragonborn, kind of takes another step forward, still intent on you and
I
looking at
step
your
behind
tattoos.
him.
If this bounty, I think I That's rightfully mine then.
You have nothing to do with this. Step aside, and we will take him.
Should I just talk to my father about this? And
This
just
will have to be
point
taken
with
back
you
to the
two?
China Enforcement Office. You'll have to step aside, Silkus.
And you know what?
They pull out their swords again, and as they realize that you're not stepping aside, you see them using the enchantment again. And you roll a insight check for me.
Sure. It's the first fucking roll.
It's the first roll of the campaign.
First roll.
No
Oh,
pressure.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta look at my notes. That's a 7.
7.
I thought it was higher than that.
It looks like they're probably calling for backup. And you kind of realize as they do that the two of you here don't really have the ability to fight trained guards.
Look, we don't need to get into any kind of tiff. There's no problem about that. Look, we'll go with you. No worries. Don't worry, my friend. I'm sure everything will be sorted. I'm sure I could probably also see what my father can help with this. As I'm sure 2 lonely guards have a lot of sway compared to my father.
They take a couple of steps forward, the Blue Dragonborn pulling out some essentially shackles ready to lock them on. They're about 20 feet away at this point, but they both stop dead in their tracks and kind of... They seem to listen to something for a moment. And then they turn, they kind of look back down the main street. They seem very confused, but a little worried. Make a perception check for me,
Sure.
both of you.
Hell yeah. Good at that.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Perception.
The guards at this point, they have a discussion between the two of them, and they're glancing over to you, and they're glancing back down the main road. But
I'm
15.
11. I'm currently standing behind him, hand on the wand.
15 and 11. Silkus, in the distance, you hear what seems to be hoofbeats, getting gradually closer. You can't make out what the guys are saying. You're focused on them, but Silkus seems to be worried about something else.
Don't like the sound of that.
A few moments later, a cacophony erupts just around the corner. In a flurry of movement and accompanied by a horrific stench, a horse and rider break away from a scattering crowd.
Get ready to run if you need to.
The figure sits atop a white horse, and from your relatively short distance, you can see that the horse itself is riddled with diseased sores and pustules, and it's swarmed by flies. The rider on its back is clad in the browns of a mourner, complete with the prominent beaked mask. Not an inch of skin is showing under the outfit. The 2 guards that had been confronting you now give chase after the newcomer. You see as the rider turns in its saddle, pulls a mace from a saddle holster, an aura of lavender-coloured energy appears around the weapon, quickly expanding to form the shape of a javelin before the rider flicks the mace and launches the spell rearward. The bolt slams into a street front facade where you can't see, sending debris rocketing into the street. You hear a yelp, and somebody skids to a halt at the entrance to your alley before turning back. Sariel, you hear a yelp from behind you as the purple bolt skims over your head and blows out the front of a butcher's shop. Cursing wildly at the horseman ahead of you, you skid to a halt, turning to check on Sulphur, who is hobbling towards you. Kneeling down, you find only a small gash in her rear right leg. The wound has already stopped bleeding, and Sulphur is recovering from the shock swiftly. Footsteps on the street alert you to a presence, and glancing over your shoulder, you watch as 2 Kime sentries open pursuit of the rider on foot. Moments later, another 2 figures step out from the alleyway. Hannah, would you like to describe your character?
She's about 5.5 feet tall. She's tan, like olive toned, and she's quite slight. She's got long, very black hair, like raven black hair, that she wears in a plait that goes over her right shoulder. It still manages to cover her ears. She's half elven. She has markings across her face, and when you can first look at them, they look like they're soot. But if you care to look closer, they're actually tattoos that go across the bridge of her nose and under her eyes, like permanent war paint. She has strikingly golden eyes, and she looks weary. She wears plain clothes that a ranger would wear, and she seems very comfortable in them. She carries a longbow, and over her back she has an even longer bow that is unstrung in a leather case.
So much fucking writing. I haven't done this in a long time.
Josh, I've never seen you write so much.
So Sariel faced with these two figures who've just stepped out, and the rider gaining ground on you far too fast at this point. And you two, you've just stepped out and looked over to your left, and you've seen in front of the butcher's shop this person leaning down, tending to what looks to be a wolf, full-size wolf. The rider's heading up the main street, at this point well and truly a good couple 100 feet away from you. What would you like to do?
So, just to clarify, injured wolf?
Yes, it looks
And
like
injured
what's
half-elf?
happening. You heard a yelp,
Yeah.
and then you stepped out and you saw this person tending
As soon
to
as
the wolf.
I yelp, I just run over, and I'm like, "Is everything all right? Are you all right? Is your wolf? Your wolf okay? Are you okay?" Look, you don't have to answer. Just say yes or no. Like, damn it.
No, she's not okay.
All right. Oh boy. All right.
But thank you.
Not a problem. And I look around to see if this
Going back into the alley.
Roll a history check for me.
Sure.
It's not a bad roll.
That wasn't a bad roll at all. 19.
You realise, so as you see that the tattooed figure's gone back into the alleyway, you realise with such a big bounty over the head, it's probably not particularly safe to be standing around at this point with just a sleeveless vest. And you do recall that you've got some spare robes in your bag.
I'm going to quickly. I look back. Oh, well, best luck to you. And I quickly run back to follow. To try to track back to where this human's gone. Like, do I?
As soon as you get into the alley, I grab you, shove you up against the wall,
What?
one pointed.
You're a magic user.
I don't know. Just seems like the right thing to do.
Well, to point to one that a man that just tried to help you.
Point my wand at anyone who's moving quickly.
I can trust you. I'm not the one.
That's what this is.
Not good at moving quickly. But look, beforehand, I wanted to give you something just before we were really interrupted, and I think right now is probably the best idea. And what you're wearing is not good for protection. I do have something spare, and I just grab from my back and grab out the robe and the clothes, and I'm just like, here you go. This is probably best. It's probably the best time. I think I'm gonna check if there's anyone hurt at the moment. Could you just stay here or something, or maybe even help or something? Like anyone that's injured would be many hands. Many hands make life work. And I just, on that note, I do turn around back and I'm just looking out on the street, like, is anyone injured? Anyone hurt?
I'll put the robes on.
You do notice, fantastic, so they're blue robes
Yep, sweet.
with some arm wrap looking things. Seems to be
Ruining the tension.
seems to be more kind of street wearing silkers. These robes, you have them because you like to make sure you have a spare pair on hand just in case
Always
someone
have
needs them.
A second, third, fourth
Exactly.
wardrobe. Ready.
You do notice before you turn, as the wizard lets the wand down from you and accepts the robes from you, you do notice that the wand is very ornate. It's very skillfully crafted from a mix of what you recognize as Thrakrathan ebony and purple heart from the forests of Cairn, which is the elven city. The handle is inlaid with perfectly cut cubic zirconia, sitting comfortably under the hand. The design incorporates a triple helix, tapering out from the handle to a point, and the third helix is made from a dark grey metallic-looking material. Minute runes are engraved along the helix. And that's all you notice as the wizard withdraws the
Oh,
wand.
that's all.
Can I get a full description of that sent to me
Yeah,
after the session?
I can do that
also
for you.
one as well.
Thank you. Because that sounds bloody beautiful.
That actually really sounds like Harry Potter. Just like, oh, that's cool.
As you rush back out into the street, the only people there at the moment, there's a bit of a crowd forming in the distance back towards where the rider came from, but none of them seem to be hurt. They seem to be gawking. At this stage, the only person who's out there is this ranger-looking type with the wolf.
All right. So I'm gonna just see if I can look far as possible. See if I can see where this rider and this thing was fighting. Like they've gone down further ahead. Do I see anything like that in the distance?
Nah, it's disappeared off into the distance. There's really nothing that's left behind.
All right. Well, I'm then going to the wolf seems to be fine. Well, injured, but seems not.
The wolf seems to be moving back to normal at this stage, although it does look rather weak. It looks a little ill, which is a weird thing.
I call out to this man. You memory problem guy. Fellow. If you wanted to go into the butcher for that food and just for a little bit of protection, I just yell. It's like, just probably the best idea. And I'm gonna quickly go over to the wolves. Like, so, just to say, if you need anything to look after, I'm pretty sure I know a guy in the butcher's right by. Could probably help look after your pet, your friend. I don't even know if you.
As you
up to you,
approach
really.
her, you do notice you catch a scent that seems very out of place in the city, almost that of a wet dog, but with a kind of primal element to it.
Like a wolf.
Not the dog itself. Seems to be emanating from her.
And on that, I'm just like, I go to head into the butcher.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you hear a wailing noise. A little further down the street, back in the direction that the ranger came from, the source of the noise is what can only be described as a tantrum. Michael, would you like to describe your character?
Oh my lord, what
Flailing on
intro.
the ground.
I don't know.
So-
Tantrum. Okay, let's do this.
You see a man on the street kneeling down, curled over something. At first glance, he looks to be a well-to-do merchant of sorts in like fancy suit, but as he turns to face you, you see the like tears cutting through the grime on his face as he's clutching this large book to his chest, surrounded by scattered, torn pages, and he is weeping, and there's like a look of pain on his face. His eyes latch onto you, and just here's a oh, my life's work. My notes. How could this happen? I look up and I can see the tattooed man at this point.
Yeah, you can see these two, and then as you look further down the street, you also see the ranger.
So I look up and say,
You all right there?
I'm not all right. It was destroyed. I was going after. It was you. It has to have been you. I like stand up and slowly with the like almost torn in half book hanging limply from my and just staring at the tattooed man. Just
As you get aggressive with me, I draw my wand.
All right, let's all stay calm. Let's all take it easy, and I'm going to cast.
Ooh. First cast of the campaign.
Yeah.
Do I see this aggression?
Yeah.
Basically,
yeah, you definitely see
I
it.
press my staff, tap down, and I twist, and then the staff slightly transforms a little bit to show a little gem, and I cast Charm Person over you.
All right, roll a say. What's that save?
What do you think it is? It's not good. It's a very interesting save.
It's a
like
wisdom
14.
save.
Yeah, wisdom save 14, I believe. I hope it's not. I hope it's more than that, but I'm pretty sure it isn't.
Your spell DC's on there.
It's going to be very interesting if your spell
it should be.
DC's 14.
That might be something we've missed. So
It's okay. I just have to remember what my thing
it
is.
doesn't matter. I rolled a 3.
so you are now under the effects of Charmed Person as
Okay.
he opens his cane and casts it on you.
What are you sorry that that something's happened to your life work? I understand it completely. It's not this man
I
though.
don't recognize that spell, and I just cast at him anyway. I'm going to cast Mending on your book.
At first, I'm just like, oh, okay, all right.
Does this work?
It doesn't
no.
fix the
So as so
Short answer.
you're using the wand, yeah? You're trying to harness the wand. Roll
Oh, hell yeah.
a
I've got a chance to
D1.
shoot
Roll a
you.
D100 for me.
Ah, fuck, that's what that means.
blow up the character.
17.
17. So you cast Mending.
Roll new character.
You see the book in your hands as you've kind of calmed down from the Charmed Person. You look down and see the book in your hands. The pages reform. Some of the remaining ink disappears. But for the most part, it's still pretty fucked.
Like, I have a look through it and like, no, it's still gone. Like,
I'm really sorry about
This
that,
is-
friend.
this is 10 years of my life in this. And I was after the fugitive. I was after that man. And then the rider, it has to have been you, came by and
As far as I know,
destroyed it.
the rider is the one that you seem to have the more of the problem with. This guy just appeared out of nowhere. If anyone gonna have to fight with, anyone you have a little tiff with would be the one that actually caused it, not this one. Just calm down. We're all gonna be calm right now. The last thing we need to do is just really hurt each other. There's no need to get into a fight then to get the guards in and then just cause all kind of chaos. Last thing I want is for my father to just be yelling at me. So can we just calm down a little bit?
Okay.
I'm sure we can fix something. We can do something about this. I'm really sorry for your loss. 10 years is quite a detriment to your skill. What were you? What was your work?
I was making a proposal for the Bank of the Nation. I tried to get it enacted before, but
Oh, the bank.
the economic policies of the nation are just outdated and ridiculous, and
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree.
we can do better. And like without this, I can hardly make the plan that I spent years like carefully building up. This will take forever to put it together.
So, because you, with him mentioning the bank, you have contacts in the Bank of Jabba. You also have contacts in a number of other banks, including some Chimerian locals.
All the debt.
And as this man speaks about it, your cogs start turning in your head.
I'm sure we can solve some kind of problem. I actually have a few contacts in some of these banks. I'm sure something could be done, just to maybe alleviate a little bit of the pain that you feel like right now.
Okay.
Felt good. We all right here. I did, however, cast a spell on you, and just to keep you calm, do remember that, because you're gonna soon realize that it was the case. But this was for the better good. This was for just to keep calm. Remember, hold on to the thought that we can fix things. I know contacts that can do this.
So I like pause for a second and like lean over and,
I'll
like kind of
slowly take the cast
Yeah.
off, and I'll and fix it up.
You feel the effects of charm person leave you, and you're
Yeah.
very aware of the fact that he has just manipulated your mind.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to do that. I really am.
That was really rude.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% apologize.
Sort of like squints at the light and like winces to the side, like shaking his head a little bit.
Would you like some food or something? Something to kind of help with that. I'm sure we can get something quickly.
Not for
While
now.
they're doing all this, I'm gonna go into the butcher
Okay. You
with Sulfur.
With Sulfur.
Like, I'm taking my wolf into.
Sulfur is very interested in this particular spot because it's obviously got a lot of food in there for it. And you and Sulfur, you don't eat terribly, but you don't eat well a lot of the time either. And so it's quite a welcome sight. Is this place that's absolutely full of delicious looking meats and other such related items, some pre-cooked dishes. And as you enter, you note to the side there is what would be a hanging sign, but it's sitting propped up against the wall of the butchery, which is now partially destroyed. But it states the boar's hoof on the sign. As you enter, a man making some noise out back pushes around a corner from a rear door and kind of says, "Hello, my name's Haran. What would you like, young lady?" "Ooh, that's a rather large dog." "This is a place of food. I would prefer maybe the dog doesn't come in," and sees your blank stare and just kind of lets it go.
You got something she can eat.
Of course. And he turns kind of... You see that there is a display in the front. It's packed with ice. And then it's just got an
Before going
open
to any
top.
of
It's
it,
just a display of
don't.
various meats. Hey?
You don't have to get her anything good. Just something she can eat.
Okay, I can do that. And he turns around and kind of reaches around the corner where he came from. You hear him unlatch something, and then he pulls out what looks to be a lamb shank style of thing. He just kind of hands it to you and says, "You can have this one on me. Dog looks like it needs it."
If you had any clean cloth, I could purchase.
I'm not sure I can do that for you. I mean, most of our cloth is covered in blood.
Ah, thank you anyway. And I will turn and walk out with the thing.
You're very
Okay.
well... Okay.
Feed Sulfur outside.
But are you okay?
I don't know.
So
I'm
why?
kind of picturing that I'm kind of like just in the middle, kind of like this, pretty much. Being like,
At
Like-
some point, someone's going to have to tell me exactly why so many people want me dead.
that all in due time, because I'm not 100% sure myself.
If
But
you
I-
like, I can get you a prop.
But I do know that you are wanted, and I do know it's for a great deal of money. But as for the reasons of why you're wanted, I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of slipped my mind a little bit with all the chaos that's just happened.
Oh, that's going to sound great on the mics.
I know, I am sorry.
It's fine, Max, all the way.
You're looking around.
Yeah, I grab
Archibald, you see a number of those posters.
I grab one and just rip them off. I'm like,
Yeah.
this will be able to help you out a little bit.
You're looking at what is an artist rendition of... It looks to be you.
Hi.
The reflection in a nearby puddle in the street just kind of shows that this is supposed to be you. You don't recognize the tattoos on the arm of the wanted poster, but they seem to be
rang
trying
that
to
in,
represent
didn't
you.
I'm sure the artist did his best.
You do that.
Yeah, mate. I'm sure he tried his best. It's a bit shit, but you know, it's nothing near there.
How long have these been up?
It's been up for a little while now. Roughly says the DM. How long would I have known?
These posters have been up for... You've noticed them around Kimeria Probably since for the last only a couple days. They haven't been there for long. You haven't been keeping track, but the first time you noticed them was maybe a couple days ago.
It's been for a little bit. Roughly probably a few days, maybe 1 or 2, 1, 3 maybe. I'm not really sure why, but everyone seems to want you. That being said, as long as you keep those tattoos covered, you might not have as much trouble.
I like walk closer. So okay, so look, Silkus, like you probably don't remember me, but like, I guess.
I never forget a face.
I guess I want to like. Thanks, I guess, for. Thank you for offering to help.
Not a problem.
Why are you hanging around with a guy with a 50,000 gold bounty on his head?
You do, as he mentions it, you do realize that you've met this person before. You've helped him out in the street a few times.
I'm just like, I don't. Oh wait, yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that. I didn't actually. I just stumbled upon him. He wasn't actually. He just. I don't actually. I'm not hanging out with him. I stumbled upon him, and then as soon as I did, the guards came.
That's
Sheer coincidence.
some pretty motivated stumbling you make there.
That's kind of a bit of a proficiency of mine.
Add that to your character sheet. As this
sure-
happens, the ranger and the wolf step back out of the butchery.
Probably.
You're
best.
probably noticing that I'm like kind of eyeing you up at this point.
And I'm getting very tense.
But I don't want to do another cast because I only got one of them left in me for today. I think for right now we can solve all. We can calm down, see what happens. Because the last thing we want to do is get you have more problems for you, more problems for us. The guards are gonna be back. It's gonna be chaos, and I really don't want that. Especially with the innocent people around us. I don't want anyone else hurt. You've already lost so much.
Don't remind me. Like, okay.
And
Okay, I'll keep the peace because you have offered to help, but like what do you like what's the deal then?
kind of ciphering it all together at the moment. It's a lot to take in for me right now. But as I say that, I do look over there. It seems to be a little bit of coincidental that a creature of some sort started causing chaos, which sent the guards in, which went from. It seems like everything seems to be revolved around you right now, and that's kind of troubling. And did anyone else see the wolf there? I'm not.
It's a very large wolf.
It's not as large as
When he says that,
it's larger than I've
I'm not
seen.
here for him.
Yeah.
Did you get any?
I'm not here for him.
Did you get any help for your wolf there?
Some.
Oh, that's great. Really happy about
Thank you.
that.
Sulphur does seem a little happier now that she's munching on. A
And
nice lamb
she's
shank.
like gonna be munching on that hard. Like she's gonna be disturbingly.
Oh yeah,
And
the
to
bone
eat.
is snapped already, and kind of hanging out both sides of her mouth, just flapping up and down as she gnaws on this bone. You see this rather nice looking lamb shank hanging out either side of the wolf's mouth, and you realize that Hara must
Harden
have.
must have done something. Yeah, must have helped out. Told you he would help you out. Speaking of such, we'll probably get out of around here because if I'm not gonna say like when it comes to bounty wise, there's gonna be a lot coming here, and if you want to continue with what you're doing, not a problem. But I kind of want to see what happens with him. I don't like to leave someone that could be endangered alone.
All right. Are you gonna stay in the city? Cause like, I need to take you up on that offer of yours. So
I'm not I can stay as long as you need. I'm not really wanting to stay too long, but if it is could be sufficed. But like, if you need it, I can. It's not a problem.
if you want to go gallivanting about, then
Gallivanting.
I do just want to find you like the next morning, and then we can sort something out.
I'm sure that I can stay. quick note though. What time of the day is it?
It's at this stage. It's about 10:30 in the morning.
Right. Well, I see it's a good time for brunch, if anyone. I know a place. We can do a little bit of discussion of what's happening and a little bit of pick of pieces. He's going to be less conspicuous with that robe now. So, if you two want to come, I know a good place. And you want my treat.
Okay.
You need some food. Butcher can get to give you so
Sure
much.
thing.
You need some exquisite cuisine. Yes? No. You hungry? Yes?
Yes.
You thirsty? Yes.
Yes.
Then what you waiting for? And I'm going to start
You.
heading to a direction.
Okay.
What is your name?
John, I suppose.
Where's my manners?
John Law. Nice to meet you, I guess.
John, what?
Law.
John Law. He's a great person around here. I've seen him a lot. I've helped him out. So, and you... I don't even know your name. Do you know your name? He's got a bit of a memory
Roll a history
problem.
check.
I'm thinking real hard about this.
He loses intelligence points based on... Oh, shit.
No!
Alright.
You're having trouble recalling it. It's there.
Yeah. The
You can
closer,
feel it in the
more
back
I,
of your
the more I
mind.
look at it, the foggier it becomes.
Alright.
How about we call him... We just call him...
Sketchy Jake until we figure out
Sketchy
something
Jake.
better.
Jake.
I'm actually okay with that. It kind of works for you a little bit. Like I said, let's go get some food. And also, you don't know, my name is Silkus Noland. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Well, I nice to meet you, I suppose, and I'll shake Silkus' hand first and then Sketchy Jake.
I watch that interaction and then I duplicate it.
And I just quickly turn to, just like one walking, I'm just like, yell out, like, you with the wolf, got, fourth place or fifth place, if you want to get some food. If not, if you got something else to do, up to you. And I just keep walking.
I'll follow them at a distance
All right.
because I am hungry.
As you start to walk, you do notice the great thing about the robes you've given is, for the most part, all the tattoos on his body are covered up.
Except for ones on my neck and
You
my
see,
face.
you see a couple on the neck
Fuck the
there
collar.
that are poking out, and a couple around the edges of the face, but they're not as noticeable. And the robe definitely helps.
I'll take off part of my sash, and I'll like, yeah, use it to cover your neck. And
What color is it?
it is brown.
Okay, I'm gonna presto it to blue.
That's a neat trick you got there. It's not really for me, but I'm already kind of like that.
So you start leading them off towards the Chine, which you're familiar with.
I know the most exquisite places.
The wealthy district of the
sure.
city, the Chine, which is
I'm just like-
also where you're familiar with.
Every time I'm walking past people, I'm just like doing that, like, how's it going? Oh, it's lovely to meet. Oh, it's great. You got that leg fixed. I'm very happy for you. And just continued going through. It's like, oh, how old is you? Oh, she's grown up so short time.
Didn't even know you were pregnant.
You'll watch these exchanges. He seems so invested in the people of this city that's almost obnoxious, but it's also endearing at the same time. You don't really know where these feelings are coming from, why you are feeling this way, but you can see a little bit of trustworthiness in Silkus. You don't get too far. You get maybe half an hour into your trip up back to the Chine. When from the darkness, off in the side of an alley, you hear a voice. It's a very gravelly and almost ominous voice. The voice says, "You're a persistent one," and looks, and you see, first you see the snout of a horse, and then you see the horse comes out of the shadows, and atop the horse, it's an armored horse, fully armored. And atop the horse, another fully armored rider. Looks like the vaguest showings of a tiefling that might be in there. Looks directly at you.
Oh,
And he says, "You're a persistent one." And he says, "I might have guessed. The contents of your book were rather dry. I commend your level of dedication.
It's a book critic.
Everyone's having a go at me today.
So, do you know this gentleman?
He looks to the whole party and he says, "Move aside.
What do you have to do with John Law?
Move aside. This man, he got in my way."
And currently you're in our way.
And he just laughs.
Did I say something funny? Do
The horse takes another couple
that
steps
answers the
forward.
question. I'm
The
gonna
horse
take
takes
off
another
running.
couple. You gonna take off running?
Yeah.
Now that's a smart move. Are you going to follow him?
I'm like, follow who? Oh.
You're as nervous
Yeah,
as the
I was
character.
just like, yes. And I run.
All right. A wise decision. He sees you further down on the street, Sariel, and he sees you, Sketchy Jake.
Take a run, Sketchy Jake.
Sketchy Jake. You best move.
You best move.
The horse takes another step forward.
I stop.
The horse's head is now next to you here while the rider looks down. He's a very large man on top of a very large horse.
I
Does
stop.
this horse looks diseased, yeah?
No.
No?
This is not the
This
diseased
is
horse.
Okay,
This is an armored, darker coloured horse, whereas the previous one was a white horse, smaller
Okay.
from what you could see, and not armoured.
And do I see anything that would stand out as a weakness in the armor?
I mean, you see he's wearing full plate armour. You see the gaps between the armour, but his harness is extremely well made. It covers pretty much all of his body. Of course, when he moves certain aspects of his body, it opens up weaknesses. But in the armour itself, if you were to try and take a stab or a swing, you don't see many areas you could aim for.
Has he got eye holes?
He does.
Okay, cool.
I see him like not move, and I stop. I'm like, all right, brave. All right, let's do this. And I'm just going to run back a few, like not too far, like. And I'm gonna try something.
Yeah.
like-
After I've seen them not pursuing, I've ducked into an alley, so I'm just.
You're there, tall and scary.
I turn around.
Not you, Sketchy Jake. You're short and scary compared. I'll tell you a joke if you want to listen.
As you say that, he draws a sword and removes a shield from his back,
Frost.
where you can see
Frostbite.
the shield. But in front of the shield, directly on his back, is the handle of a rather large weapon. He kind of twists to get the shield, and you see it's a great axe. As he draws the sword,
Relax.
takes the shield off his back. I would like you all to roll initiative, please.
Could I? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nope.
Oh, good. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
This is our first encounter, everybody.
As he makes this motion and kind of
that's-
stretches his shoulders.
That's
You
fine.
whelps are hardly worth my time.
Cool.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, that's so much better. So much better.
I took the wrong feet to first left.
You gotta take 1 foot forward. Okay, and then you get the other feet.
Nah, but I
You
took,
continue.
I took the wrong feet. So.
Okay, so you
yeah.
went backwards.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Do 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 do.
Uh-huh.
All right,
It's
this is.
stuck in your head.
There's been a lot of things he's been saying that I went straight to continue into lyrics, and I'm like, I can't say it. I can't say it.
Didn't stop you. with
Okay, that
cosmos.
wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Damn.
bit different.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not.
I don't have an initiative
Yeah,
tracker.
it's-
I guess I'll do that in my notebook.
Hey, he has a notebook, people.
I do have a notebook,
He
people.
does. He's had that notebook almost as long as I've had my character planned.
Yeah, which is like 3 years.
Holy
And this is
shit.
the first time I'm using it. Okay, so 25 to 20.
I have to remember my dex modifier.
No, you don't. You just have to turn to the first page of your book.
Yeah. Right, yep. That, yep. So 19.
It's up there in the top.
19 plus. Yeah, 19. So,
So 38.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, so
It is now canon.
20 to
I
15,
have a
19.
cannon. 19.
Anyone else
Oh,
above
my
15?
the fastest. Oh no.
No one else above 15?
Oh no.
Okay.
How does the wizard get there? Oh boy. Where am I?
They roll really well
They
on their
really do.
dice.
15 to 10.
12.
12
Okay, Dex mods.
Plus 2.
plus 3.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
cuts me deep.
Probably will.
Yeah, I get to go before Glenn.
7.
10 to 5, 7. Okay. As he draws the sword and takes the shield and remarks about your absolute worthlessness to his time, Silkus.
Oh,
It is your turn.
I am first. Oh boy. Oh no. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Good start.
Yep, this is great. I do have... How far away am I from him?
At this stage, because you ran and then started coming back, you're probably a good 20 feet from him at this stage.
Oh, perfect.
Sketchy John is... Sketchy
Jake.
Jake is up in his
Come on,
face.
use his full name.
The
Sketchy
horse,
John was his
the
father.
horse's head is back here on Sketchy Jake, and he's looking directly at the rider.
I don't want you to ever get your memory back. That's a fantastic name.
I mean, is that nothing?
That's on vibrate. Do
I
really
have
want-
questions about
Sure,
how
I'm
much
going
HP he
to.
surely has. That's all.
I'm going to play it smart, and I'm going to cast Blade Ward.
Okay. What did you just... Did you seriously? How did you manage that?
I don't know, but I did it.
Your
And
pencil needs a grip on it.
I need a grip.
And also one of those wee wrist straps.
Yeah.
So he needs like a
I
switch
got this. I got this.
grip
Yeah.
There you go.
for a pencil.
Alright. Yeah,
Yes,
so
he
Blade
absolutely
Ward.
does.
I cast Blade Ward, so I
Resistance.
extend my hand and energy starts flowing through and I got a little bit of a sheen, a little shimmer.
Okay, and that
And
gives you resistance
Resistant
to...
to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing dealt by weapon attacks until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Cry. No, no, that's all I got for bonuses.
Break for mercy from Puss in Boots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we
Yeah.
move past Silkus' turn, and the first spell is cast, I will unveil
Hey.
where you are currently.
I knew it was a map of some
Placed.
sort.
So,
Oh, cool.
for your
You
reference,
planned for this to be a fight?
I did plan for this to be a fight.
I just want to point out that he totally knew that Glenn's character wouldn't play.
The orange outlines are buildings. The blue on those outlines are doors, and anything outlined in black is a road.
Cool.
You all
Colorblind.
are currently
I am green.
I am yellow.
here. You are right here.
Would I be here?
Yes, something like that. And you would be over roughly around here.
Excellent. This is the first fight of the campaign.
Okay. So, your
Just
turn
blood.
is over.
So many things are over.
Hannah, it's your turn.
You got this. You got this.
And you got this.
So, what were the doors?
The blue lines on the orange are the doors. So anywhere you see the
Right.
the blue, yeah.
I'm getting the door plus. on my
And
head.
obviously, Michael's character's in an alleyway. Is that
Yeah.
right?
That's correct.
Yes, peeking around the corner.
Alright. I want to move up to be in line with his character on the other side of the road.
Josh, could you do that for me? Up to in line with the red.
The green one?
Yep.
So about here?
Yep.
Cool, cool. Why are the wizards
And then
at
I'm
the
gonna
front? The wizards are
and
at
then
the
I'm
front,
gonna
guys.
shoot the rider.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
We'll be the tanks of this campaign.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm gonna shoot the but it goes against everything that I stand for.
About everything you sit for.
Well, not much.
Oh, 14.
Okay. You
That's not gonna hurt.
draw an arrow from your quiver, knock it, and take aim, and then you release. Shot was dead on, but you watch. His reactions are insane. The shield immediately comes up and just deflects the arrow straight sideways, flies off, clatters off a nearby building, and doesn't actually do any harm to him. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Can I motion at Sulfur to go and collect my arrow?
Can if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just kind of motion at her like fetch kind of thing.
Okay. And that's your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. You do have a bonus action.
Yeah, but there's nothing I can really do with it because I don't have any spells.
Level 1.
That's all right.
Level
Okay, in that case, Sketchy Jake,
As
what would you like to do?
Yeah.
I've been like taking in this dude for ages and getting essentially tactically mapping him, and as he does that to deflect the arrow, I go like that instinctually, and under the wraps a little bit starts to glow, and I'm not using the wand, and I cast magic missile straight into his eye holes.
Okay.
I see that.
How much damage?
But I should have pre-rolled this because I knew it was going to hit.
Do I see that?
What is the damage of magic missile? You do.
It's 1d4
You see this
plus 1 for each of the 3 missiles. 5,
2,
8, 10.
10 damage. Okay. All right. First damage of the campaign.
That was good damage as well.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
How much damage was it?
10.
Hey, that's a good round number.
Pretty good round number.
It's a pretty good round number. I give it a 10 out of 10.
I'm going to take a few steps back,
How far back?
probably 20 feet.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
quite
back
big.
just past Silkus a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
And I understand that I'll probably proc an opportunity attack, but that's
He
fine.
doesn't take it.
Oh.
He ignores you completely.
His eyes are very much in pain. My one weakness.
Slashing damage.
John,
That's force.
that's all you're saying?
Yeah, that's my turn.
John, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna hold my action. If Silkus goes down, I will rush out and try to grab him because I care about what he has offered me. But other than that, I'm not fighting this guy. I'm running if he tries to make my way.
Okay, so you're just going to stick in that alleyway.
Yeah, I'm keeping watch.
Okay,
Or like continuing to watch.
which brings us to the Horseman's turn. He is going to, with insane speed, you don't understand how he can move so fast, but on the back of this horse, gets past you two. You do get opportunity attacks, both of you, if you'd like. These are melee attacks, so
Yeah.
It's level 1, baby, no feats.
Yeah, mate.
Unless
yeah,
you're
buddy. I'm gonna. Yeah,
varying him.
fuck it. I'll do it. I'll make the swipe with my cane.
Okay, take a whack.
Can I?
Sneak up the horse!
Oh, that's brutal.
21.
Yeah.
21.
I'm not really aimed to hit really, but I'm just like hoping like
Can I sucker punch the horse's knee?
Go for it.
get him the gonads.
As the horse and the rider bolt past, you take a strike, and a really good attempted to hit, but his shield comes down once again and just blocks off the strike.
Okay, fair enough.
You very nearly hit him. He just barely uses the tip of his kite shield to deflect the strike away, and it doesn't actually make contact. What'd you roll? No, you're not rolling? Okay.
I did. I rolled a 3.
The rider is now going to take his sword and make 3 attacks against you.
I thought you said that you used some fucking checker thing to make sure you weren't going to get a party kill in the first round.
Yeah. This is not to do with that.
You say DMs can't lie?
Wow, you rolled a natural 1 and a natural 5.
Which means he stabs himself.
What's your armor class?
We don't make the rules.
14. 2 of them hit. This
We
one
just
does
adhere
not.
to it.
And he does.
Off.
Pissed off some fucking powerful people.
I mean, I thought I was gonna die this session.
I mean, you're the one who was an idiot and stood up to him.
But he did it with flare? No. No, that was no flavor.
No, it was scare.
Yeah, I got those two confused sometimes. Ah.
You take 16 points of damage.
Oh no.
I'm down.
You go down. So John Law,
You
The-
should not allow
the
guy
rider
in
then
face us
turns
to do
away.
more damage than we have.
The rider then turns away as John drops to the ground unconscious and looks directly at you.
Oh, fuck.
He is going to then move up to you.
Okay.
And that will be his turn. Which brings us back to
Excellent.
Silkus. It is your turn.
But okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be so upset.
No, beautiful. Using my last level 1 spell. And I'm going to say... Did you know why nobody trusts we low-dex wizards? Because he can't trip for any moment. Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay, what do I have to roll? What save?
A
Hey, I
wisdom
didn't
saving
actually
throw?
understand a word he just said.
14.
Wisdom
Why-
saving throw of 14.
Why are people afraid of low dex wizards? Because they can trip any
I can't
moment.
see it. And...
Modifier? Plus 2.
Fuck you, wisdom, bitches. Right.
You see him
Fuck your wisdom.
you see him struggle for a moment trying to shrug off this effect.
Any laughter?
But he manages to do it and just glares you down even harder.
It was only a joke. And going to... Yeah, no, that makes about sense, yeah. I'm gonna make a little haste and out.
Okay, he is going to take an opportunity attack at
I
you.
still have Blade Ward active. So I will
So
take
that's
half
resistance.
of probably 15.
Oh,
What's
no.
your armor class?
Oh, yeah, no, that would hit.
Okay. Which means you take...
But halved.
I really need to learn the stats.
I think we need to level up.
You take
Focus on
22
other class.
halved, so 11.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
You are down. Alright, Silkus is now
Are you
down
sure that this was a good
as
idea?
well. Oh yeah. Which brings us to Hannah. It's your turn. What would you like to do seeing this happen?
What am I looking at here? Am I looking at the horse butt?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just
I'm gonna
launch
shoot the
one
horse
right
in
up
the
there.
butt.
You can absolutely shoot the horse in the butt. Roll an attack.
Effective on both centaurs and horses.
23.
I feel like
You
it's
hit.
racist sometimes.
Roll your damage.
Sense of horses.
Goody for me.
Hey!
Woo.
Only other one that's done damage.
7.
7
Hey.
damage. That is
Yay.
absolutely fine.
How is his triple-digit HP going?
No, I shot the horse in the ass.
Oh.
Because with any luck, the horse will rear up at being shot in the ass and dump him on the fucking
Rear.
ground.
Well, we hope. Maybe it's just a little sting.
The horse takes the shot. It makes a noise. It makes a quick whinny, but doesn't react
It
violently in
clenches
any
and
way.
shoots it back out at you.
Definitely looks like it's been through a couple battles. I'm just gonna lower it. There we go.
Oh boy.
By the way, just coming out of the session here really quickly, I apologize to everyone on the stream who was experiencing Hannah's echoing. I should have just fixed that. So next time.
Sorry.
Is that your turn?
They just couldn't handle two of her.
Can I see Sulfur? Has she got my arrow?
What's Sulphur's speed?
Dear God.
Oh, I don't have my
Let's look.
books.
I think it's 35 for a wolf.
1 second. I've never had to. Yeah. Good thing about this is I go to the end.
Hey.
40 feet.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Really quickly.
40 feet.
40 feet.
She would have like survived that. It focused didn't. That's hilarious.
10 feet per leg.
Sulphur is at the arrow, but hasn't retrieved it yet. So
Dare to send sulfur after the next arrow that
I
you
need
fired.
I need a
Yeah,
wolf.
well, I was tempted, but I was actually going to ask her to like drag one of the unconscious people because she can't get into the actual fight. So she's hurt.
Yes, indeed, at the moment. I don't have a mini for sulfur. At least not... Hold on, I might do... Sulfur can be... Sulfur can be a random kobold.
Where? What do you want? Just there?
Start over here.
Here. Oh, here.
I bookmarked your page
Good idea.
for just such occasions.
Alright.
Alright, well,
We have a mini for sulfur now. Is that your turn?
I've got 30 feet of movement. How wide is this street, like, in feet?
It's about 20 feet wide.
That's a really wide street.
Yes, it's the main street.
What
Yeah, it's
to
a
do?
lot of feet. I might move back like 5 feet away from the guy, because it looks like he's actually quite close to me from my angle.
You're moving away? How far?
Like, just 5 feet or so. Just sort of
There you go.
back out of his
Okay.
bubble.
I take that one step back.
That concludes your turn.
Yeah. Knowing that the street's 20 feet wide changed what I was going to...
Alright. Sketchy Jake, it's your turn.
I
Having trouble
see
with
literally the only person in this world that I know go down. I like clap my hands together and stretch them out again and like do a couple of arcane movements and form a 2-inch ball of energy.
Yep.
Flick it up in his eyeballs, and I am using lightning damage on a chromatic orb.
Okay.
Hey. He's doing some tricky shit. Hey, shit is correct.
It's natural 20 adjacent.
What was it though?
It's like the same thing.
I'm
Oh,
trying
right,
to find
yeah.
my spell.
I think I might have missed out on that.
You did.
Spell save DC. Spell.
It'll be 14 if it's
No, mate.
It's your
Don't speak
intelligence.
for me.
Intelligence modifier.
I speak for
plus
the wizard.
proficiency plus
Proficiency.
8.
No, it's
That-
not spell save.
just
it's spell
proficiency.
attack.
Spell
So
attack is just
5. It's plus 5.
Yeah. 7.
Sorry.
7. Oh no. Oh, it was that 20 adjacent.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that doesn't hit. This one, as you release the spell, he sees you doing it and just leaning slightly sideways, and the spell goes off,
See what's happening.
peters out into nothing.
The house won then. House is one.
Why?
You're
asking
down.
you,
Make a death
why?
saving throw.
I'm gonna use this death saving throw die.
Oh my god, we have to do that.
Oh no,
Oh no.
It's a fail.
That's a fail.
Okay.
mate.
One
session
fail.
1.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's
Cosmos.
okay.
Tune into Cosmos next week.
Which brings us to the rider's turn.
Me, I can have a game.
He's going to look down at you, having just cast a spell at him, and he's going to take a swipe.
He's gonna miss.
Whoop. It's a 17 to hit.
Fuck off.
You take...
Oh look at that. I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
I mean,
so you go down. He then moves back towards you.
Opportunity.
And as he does this, Sariel, you hear a very familiar sound.
It's a fart.
It's a thrum. And out of nowhere, you don't know where it comes from, but the rider takes an arrow in the back. And he actually flinches, which is something you haven't seen him do yet. As he takes the arrow in the back and kind of gives like, ah! And then turns to look quickly, glancing down the road to see where this rider's looking. You see a purple-skinned tiefling wielding a very large bow who's just taking a shot at the rider. As the rider then attacks you,
That was appropriate.
That really
Video
was.
choice.
Yeah. You see this blob.
13 or 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay. And you take 14 damage.
Holy shit.
Hi.
I'm down.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
As you go down, as you start to lose consciousness and your vision fades away, the tiefling takes another shot at the rider, who has another flinching moment, turns around, looks at the tiefling, seems to have a moment of decision, and then bolts away down the alleyway, jumping over John here, and disappearing off into the city.
Kick me in your sleep.
Sariel, as you in your final moments of consciousness, the tiefling starts to walk towards you, and you recognize him, and then you fall unconscious. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Hey, we're all dead.
You are
Congrats.
We're dead! We're dead! We're alive, but we're
that tiefling
dead!
better know healing word, or else I could still crit fail.
I know, like, I legit just, like, I rolled just to be like, maybe,
Why would
let's
you
see.
tell him?
I just, and I rolled in that one. To be like, I'm curious. He hasn't told me, but I'm curious. You didn't tell me, so it ain't canon.
All right. So now that we're going to break, we do have a giveaway happening here in Twitch. If you would like to enter, after Theophania there in chat gives the word, not after I do, but after she gives the word, type the word union, UNION, in chat just once, and we'll add you to the giveaway pool, and we will draw from that pool at the end of the stream. So stick
essentially,
around until then.
what you want is the chat to unionize.
Yes, exactly. Please unionize
against
in
us.
chat, and then we will make one of you win.
No, they
So
must know their place.
remember, we are entering for a Google Home Mini.
Hey.
International users, do please enter the giveaway, although just be aware that we may have to discuss, paying half of shipping or something like that. It's a bit of a grey area as well, so just be aware of that if you're not from Australia.
There's a bit of a grey area on top and a white area on the bottom, and it's got 4 lights in it.
Yeah, it's true.
Why am I so bad at dodging?
Regardless of that,
Because you're sitting down, Glenn.
we'll
Yep,
see
that
you in
makes
about
sense.
15 minutes while we kind of recollect here.
Oh,
Thank you for being here. See you soon.
bye.
Bye. We're not going.
Bye, we're
leaving.
going. We're out of here. We're dead, man. You killed us.
Oh, no, I get it.
Welcome back.
And we're back, and hopefully we can be heard over the top of that music. Okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're back.
Hi, we're all
Um,
dead.
Hi, everybody.
As of right now, the Twitch giveaway has closed. We will announce the winner at the end of the stream.
Was it me?
It was not you. I can tell you 100% it wasn't you.
So we're narrowing down the field. Only 7.9 more billion people to go.
Oh wow, we have that many views.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
wish.
That's just in the world.
Ah,
Yeah. I don't know about this world, but our world.
Yeah.
maybe 10% of that.
Yeah, that's how many people are watching.
Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
precisely how many people
Until the
watch
math says otherwise.
If only some of them had subscribed to us.
it.
We're
Yeah,
affiliates.
exactly.
Hey guys, we're dead.
Yeah.
We did real well.
I mean,
Shout out to Vithalum for saving us.
Guarantee that was not by Thelen.
it was beta.
As much as I wish it was not by Thelen.
It was Python.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna live, I think.
no.
No.
It's your own damn
No.
fault.
We return to the action. Having just all come
Died.
together, seeing a rather diseased-looking horse carrying what looks to be a mourner on top of its back at high speed down the main streets of Kimeria. Grouping up, introducing yourselves to each other, having a bit of a tiff, and then moving towards the intention of having lunch with each other. Or brunch, as
I
Silkus
had the
stated.
perfect image in my head of what I was gonna have. Ruined.
Interrupted by an armored horseman on a different horse, confronting them in an alley, telling them to move aside, which most of them did, and one of them didn't.
Sketchy Jake.
Sketch.
At which point the horseman knocked them all the fuck out.
Dong. Pretty much. Pretty much was that.
As of this moment, everyone roll a Constitution check for me.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm good at those.
Hey, I'm average at those.
You're pretty good at those.
I don't know my character.
That's just the modifier,
Oh,
right?
not bad.
Yes.
Yes, just the con modifier.
I went straight.
Guys, ST in the book means saving throws.
Yes.
Just figured that out.
Sorry, what did you just figure out?
ST in the book means saving throws.
They all have custom character
boy.
sheets, so they're going to
He's
take a
been
moment to
playing
get
for
used
a
to.
few years now.
I've been playing for 15 minutes.
Yeah, 17. No, actually 18.
Nice.
12.
12,
16.
16, and 4.
Oh,
So, Silkus, you wake up first.
explain neck. Oh.
You look around and you're not where you fell unconscious.
That was over there.
What the hell am I?
It's a
Right.
bit of a... It's not dark, but it's not terribly well lit either. A bit of a dingy room. You are lying in a bed. You have some sheets on you.
Got my legs. Okay.
You have some sheets on you. And you do
Dad's gonna
notice
be
that...
pissed.
And you do
It's
notice
gone.
that your wounds that you had sustained in the battle have been stitched up.
Oh,
You then awaken as well. Sketchy Jake. You see Silkus glancing around. You see the same sight. Then John and then Sariel, you all wake up.
While I was asleep, did I have any epiphanies?
No.
Oh.
no dream sequence yet.
You all see the same sight. There's currently no one in the room, but you are all in each a separate bed. There are rows of beds. It looks like, at first glance, an infirmary of some sort.
Any bit of that? Oh. Well doing.
Whose phone is going off? That
Mine.
was not mine.
It's
No.
yours.
What?
Yeah, you're on vibrate, dude.
That priority texting
Ah.
overrides my do not disturb.
It's have you checked this tweet? So, oh,
Oh, God.
As soon as I see that it's infirmary,
what the hell
I'm
is
out of
that
the
mean?
bed and I'm like tense for some reason.
Oh,
That
sketchy day.
bastard.
John. Is everyone all right? Alright. Oh, head's ringing.
Pounding
good?
headache, which gets me business as usual.
You say business as usual.
Yep.
Okay. Who was that? Sorry. Wait. And I look around and like, do I see the wolf and the half elf?
Yes. The half elf is just sitting up in a bed a couple rows down from you, and the wolf is at her side.
Oh, I think I got concussion.
Just
Seeing 4 of you.
I'm saying. You said 72.
some guy thought he was Sketchy Jake earlier when I was after the bounty.
Yeah, I think I had the same dream.
Knocked me the hell out. And I guess he holds a grudge, which is wonderful to know.
So wait, who? Say that all again. Just wasn't me.
As you say this, the door opens. The door to this room opens, and someone walks in wearing relatively plain clothes. It looks to be maybe in their 30s, an androgynous half-elf with hair down to the shoulder blades, kind of lighter skin, looks around the room to all of you and addresses you and says, "I see you're awake. This is good news. I was worried some of you wouldn't wake," and looks at you pointedly.
And where would I meant to be waking up from?
Well, I'm not sure, but a friend of yours brought you in with a number of civilians.
What did they look like?
It was a purple skin, looked to be a tiefling. He had a group of people with him. They all carried you in.
I'm gonna get up and start like getting ready. Like I'm putting my shoes on.
Whoa, young lady, calm down. You can't be moving just yet.
You might hurt yourself.
You too.
Oh, yeah. So who might you be?
And I need to find him.
My name is Rython.
Rython.
You need to find who?
Rython, okay.
The purple tiefling.
Surely it can't be more important than your own well-being.
Yes, it can.
Well, I can't tell you what's important to you, but I can tell you what's important to me, and that is taking care of you. He was very specific about keeping you all under wraps. It's just me attending to you. Usually we would have a nurse for each person. But this one over here, he's a wanted man.
Yeah.
Why?
Why
am I a wanted man?
I was going to be taken to actually deliver him, if anything.
No one really knows.
So
This is something that I've heard came
Is
in.
sulfur in this room?
Sulfur is right next to your bed, yeah.
Thank God.
Yep.
Alright.
And she's fine.
anyone else got a crash in the neck?
No
when they
problem with
twisted
sulfur.
a little bit.
And can I see the very large longbow?
God, you have the healing.
The ones that you were carrying?
Yeah.
Yes. All your equipment is stashed right next to you. Anything that was in the way of bedding you down to stitch up your wounds was removed and just placed right next to you on either a chair or a table, whatever was handy at the time.
As long as he didn't take it, I'm good.
No.
Oh.
Word came through here. We often get the military and the enforcement personnel through this infirmary.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Word
did.
came through about this wanted posting not too long ago. It seems like it's come through on order from Yusen,
Wilson.
but we know not much more than that.
Do I know who Yusen is?
Yusen is the city known for its technological advancements, largely populated with humans.
Right, yes.
You have been there on a number of occasions.
What is you saying?
You
And
seem
then you explain.
yes, and then she explains that.
And then I explain it better.
You seem to be
Go on then.
No, Silkus does.
you seem to be new to this planet. Have you lost your memory?
Yes.
Yeah, we call him Sketchy Jake because we've got nothing else at the moment.
Sketchy Jake.
Terrible name, and I hate it. I hate
That's
everyone.
You know
who
what? I
calls
think
it-
you look
Did it?
much more like an Arthur. Roll a history check for me.
Arthur.
13.
13. That name jogs your memory, and you suddenly have an epiphany.
Not Arthur.
Not Arthur.
Archibald.
Arthur.
Okay. Hello, Archibald.
I just quickly I'm mobbing myself. I kind of like Sketchy Jake a bit more. He looks like a Jake to me.
I feel like that's a little bit degrading, don't you?
Yes.
That was a bit to myself.
I had a good friend
But yeah,
named
it's
Jake.
fair enough.
Fine, whatever.
Is he sketchy?
Very.
How is he a good friend?
He gave me a loaf of bread which was in a bakery which charged unreasonably high prices. Good friend of mine.
Capitalism's a problem.
Well, Archibald, you are a wanted man. We know not why, but you best keep a low profile in this city. There are people out looking for you all over the place.
You're not going to report any of this.
No, of course not. My duty is to protect my patients, of which you are, and I have no intention, especially considering you've shown me no hostility so far, of reporting any of this. I was under strict instructions by the purple-skinned tiefling to keep you all safe, and that's what I will do.
Give you a name.
He did not. He wielded a rather large bow, and
They have runes on.
had a hood on. That's about it. I could see the horns poking out from under the hood, but he didn't give me many details.
Did he have like a mask?
He did, yes. It was at the time it was hanging around his neck, but yes. It was black and white with some swirly designs on it.
Is he coming back?
He showed no intention, but I wouldn't know any better. He didn't tell us much. And the citizens themselves have also parted ways, and they've left the ones who carried you all in.
I just want to like quietly say to Sulfur, like, you know, it's him. Just, it's him.
She, her tail wags a little bit, and she kind of bumps you with her head in acknowledgement.
I'm gonna like turn to Sariel and sort of go, we seem to have gotten mixed up in some business together. Do you know that guy? Like, do you have any idea what this is?
No offense, it does sound kind of like you. It looks like you kind of seem to recognize the purple tiefling, at least know something about him. Oh, it might be just a concussion. I'm not really sure.
No, you are correct. I believe I know him.
I don't even think we even
I
know your
can't be
name.
sure if he didn't give a name, but all of that description is him.
He certainly seemed to care about you in particular.
It's good to know.
Speaking of you,
What is
we
it?
don't actually have your name.
I'm Zariel.
Saria. That's a
Sariel.
Sariel.
Sulfur.
It's a lovely name. I don't think we're.
Don't be afraid of her. She's quite gentle.
That's good to hear.
Oh,
So,
that's very good to hear.
so,
Very.
so who's the guy? Like, boyfriend, brother?
He saved my life.
Savior. No. Well, right on the
I
money.
guess.
When I was very young, I had an incident with something much stronger than me, and he saved my life. And he nearly died doing so.
Quite a lot of respect to this
He-
fella.
I do. And he's the reason I know Sulfur. He's the reason I'm a ranger, and I've been looking for him for years.
Well, seems like he found you. Don't mind
He
me.
always does.
I haven't really been hit like that in a long time. Just gotta, and I just quickly kind of fall asleep.
That's a common problem. You're best rest up. This is a safe place for you to do so if you would like. Alternatively, I can't tell you what to do, and I know how you young adventuring types are.
Do you think he'll come back? I don't want to stay if I can't find him.
He didn't seem like he was going to. He seemed like he wanted to be in and out as fast as possible with no intention of coming back. I'm sorry.
It's alright. I didn't expect
He
him to
did-
go.
He did, however, go south. Apparently, he was seen heading that direction, which is where whatever knocked you out also went.
Just gonna hunt it down.
Still a
Do our
stubborn
job
fool.
for us.
He did say when he brought you all in that you tried to fight that thing on an armored horse, which I assume is what he was following. He went south, and from here at least, I can't tell you where he went from there, but he went south, and I heard rumors come through that whatever that thing was also headed that direction. There were two. We had one riding through the main streets, causing all kinds of havoc, and then the second one was spotted, but apparently was doing its best to steer clear of people. Apparently you must have gotten in the way.
I'm unconscious.
She looks pointedly at Silkus.
Yeah. It seems that
He
way.
does seem rather opinionated. Seems to think highly of himself, this unconscious one.
He seems like it.
Seemed rather connected to you, John.
Yeah, I'm surprised you formed that strong an opinion. I was, well, perfectly honest, I was after you, or the bounty on your head even, and overheard some guards headed in the direction, saw the rider all cloaked up, figured, oh, someone's covered in tattoos and trying to hide from the guards, must be him, he's hiding all of his face and skin. So I go and try and knock him off his horse and out like a light. And I wake up and then my life work has been like blasted apart and destroyed. And
So
It is-
naturally, you assume that it was the person that looked completely different to the previous person that attacked you.
I assumed it was the person who I thought the rider was. I was already assuming that it was you. I guess now I know he's not because I've seen you both at the same time, but apparently for some reason you even read the damn pages. Like, I mean, I'm happy that the idea spreads, but at the same time, like, who does that? Who nearly kills someone and then, like, reads through half of their life?
You lost something very dear to you.
Yes, I did. Hopefully I can redeem some of that with the help of Silkus over here, and got a couple of people I've talked to it about over the years. Might still have some notes, but today hasn't been a good day.
Well, I hope that you all can recover. I can tell you physically you're in good shape. You'll be ready to leave, well, very soon.
Eggs Benedict.
He
Is that his
maybe...
brother?
He might take slightly longer. Benedict is his brother. His name is Silkus Newer Benedict.
Well, I'll wait however
catch
long
your
it
name.
takes. This
I didn't
guy's...
catch your name. So,
Oh,
My name,
yes.
Rython.
Sorry, I was distracted at the time. Did you happen to take a look at my companion? At her wounds?
I'm not a
I understand if you
veterinarian,
didn't feel safe
unfortunately,
doing
but
so.
whatever this is, it seems like some form of affliction that I cannot diagnose. She's got a scrape on her leg, which has healed up fine, but her state currently, I don't know what that is. It may be magical.
You guys saw the horse, the white one.
I personally did not, but I heard rumors. Word travels quickly in a place like this where people affected by these events come through.
I think it's similar.
Okay. Well, I only wish the best for you. If you're looking to get out of here quickly, I can maybe pull some strings and get a cleric in here. Maybe able to help you.
Okay.
Alternatively, you are free to go if you wish. I'm not going to hold you here. I certainly don't think I could if I tried.
I kind of like waves like, burnt toast.
I think he's having a stroke. I should probably attend to that. And she walks over to him and starts checking up on Silkus.
I'm going to go have a look out the window and see what I can see.
Okay, you're on the first floor, so you're on the ground floor. You're on the ground floor. You can see the eave of the roof above you, so it's just a single-story building, and you're looking out into. It looks like it's some narrow, winding streets. Further down, you see what looks to be the main road. So you're maybe a couple hundred feet from the main road. It's mostly just buildings. They're all very closely packed. A lot of them aren't even built very well, coming apart. They're just kind of shacked together as much as they can be. Looks very slum-like in this area. But the building you're in seems clean, and it seems at least to be staying together at this point.
Busy streets? Yes, no, maybe?
No. While it is the most populated city in the world, these back alleys, not much activity going on. People have seemed to, Silkus, you've noticed that the people filtering through the streets has lessened quite a lot since this event with the horsemen coming through. You've noticed the usually very busy main street where you were before at the butchery, there was no one. People are hearing word of these things happening and trying to steer clear.
While Rythan is kind of like checking me, I'll just be like, you're not going to report any of this or anything that's going
No,
on?
absolutely not.
Please, I don't need my father to find out all this kind of thing.
No, as I explained to your companions here, I have no intention of reporting any of this to any authorities.
Sure.
The
Last thing I need is that bastard going down my neck.
The guards rarely come through here, unless they're injured, of course, in which case. But we keep them separate. We give them special treatment because they give us special treatment. You won't have any encounters with them here, and none of this will be reported.
I'm very, very glad to hear about that.
And you are the only people in this room, so you look around and you see that.
So, do you think that we're all good to go, or do you think we should rest for a little
Look, I
longer?
can't stop you. You're not at your peak fitness at the moment, but you can certainly go if you want. You're not going to collapse and die if you try.
Well, you're a professional. I think I'm adhered to you, and everyone else all awake and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just keep resting here, because Rython's said that we're not good enough. I'm not good enough to go. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna recuperate a little bit. Up to whatever you guys want to do.
I ain't saying no to free room and board for the night.
It's not exactly where I would like to stay, but beggars can't be choosers.
Well, I mean, I can tell that some of you are eager to get going. If you would like to rest here, you can, but I can offer you these, and she reaches around to a cabinet that's locked behind her, opens it with a key, slides open, and withdraws 4 small bottles, which she hands out to each of you. We don't have many of these, but you seem like you have a good cause, and I can tell something's not quite right with this one. If you would like to go, feel free. These will heal you. In need. You can use them now if you like, but some might want to save them.
I know what this is.
Of course you do. You look like the magical type.
You sure this kind of expensive? They're a bit pricey.
We get them at a discounted rate.
Of course you do.
It's one of the perks of treating guards the way we do.
Well,
Do I recognize what it is?
and I'll chug one.
Yeah, she explains to you that they are healing potions. Just a straight healing potion, so it's 1d4 plus 2.
What HP am I on?
You're all on 1 currently.
I'll chug mine. I'll just be like, shot. Yeah, it was one. It was 4 plus 1d4.
1d4 plus 2. It's a base healing potion.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, 1d4 plus 2. Oh, please, Max.
4.
Come on.
4. 3.
Oh, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So if you are saving yours, feel free to note it down in your inventory pages.
Oh, I'm just gonna keep a slot for healing potion. That way, I just change the quantity.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on 6.
yeah. So I think I'll lean over to Sariel and say, Sariel, like, what's up with the bow situation there? Like, you've got long bow and then long ass, even bigger bow.
I don't believe that's any of your business, but I wouldn't approach my bow if I were you.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just kind of curious. That's all. I'll like put my head back down on the bed.
Feeling alright, good now. Oh, I could really go for some food though. What time of the day? Like, I'll look out the window. What time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably mid-afternoon. You've lost some time in the day from being knocked unconscious, and they also must have put you under some anesthetic to administer to your wounds, because you don't stay not unconscious for that long.
Right.
As you would know.
As I would.
As it turns out, this room does smell like chloroform.
What a lovely scent. Well, you guys want to... If you want to get up and go, I still got that restaurant we can try. I'm sure
because it worked out so well for us the last time.
that is true, but as far as that creature is concerned, we're kind of just... We're all done with. He's knocked us all out, and then he has to be merged. Where did he go?
Ran off, I guess.
South.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Again, the concussion. Well, do you guys want to stay, or what do you want to do? Because I'm all for going.
You were all for staying a minute ago.
That was when I was injured. I'm feeling a lot better, and I'd like to stay less time. I want to less time in this in the military area.
So,
really up
you're
to you.
heading off.
Yeah, I'm. If you want to come and to get some food, I'll be at the. What was the restaurant we said?
Nella's Grodalian.
Grodalian. I don't remember.
Nella's Grodalian.
Grodalian. Just say that you got a seat with Silkus, and they'll set you up. And I'll get up. Am I fully am I fully dressed, or what's the situation?
You're dressed. Where you'd
and-
received your wounds, they've rolled up your sleeves, and they obviously pulled your shirt up to administer your wounds on your torso, but they left it on. Maybe out of respect for you, maybe out of just no need. But your clothing is fine, bar the slash through the front of your shirt.
Gotta get that.
And you are fully dressed.
So I've got
They've removed
my
They've removed any
collar.
belts that were getting in the way. So any coin pouches or anything that were attached to belts have been removed and placed to the side. A couple of you got chairs on the side of your bed where all your belongings are, and a couple others have small bedside tables.
I'm gonna just quickly take off my robe, take off my vest, and I'll take off my shirt. I'm just gonna all my damaged stuff, throw it onto the bed, take out my bag, and I'll just take out another shirt, put it on, put another vest on. Feel
Any
fresh
slash-
already.
So,
Any slashes on my gear, I'm just
So,
gonna use mending on.
so if I wanna go and find your silk house, because I think I might stay the night. If I wanna find your silk house, I can just go up at Benedict Manor and ask for you by name, right? Or
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh well, probably not Benedict, but I'm sure you can see the Norn Manor.
okay. No one.
You're a Nuit.
Yeah, didn't you notice the contempt
You certainly look like it.
And the bone structure.
But
and the high cheek?
I'm not one to presume.
That's fair. That's fair. We all kind of have our own differences.
Well, I'm honored to meet you. It's not often we meet someone from that side of the chain.
Honor's all mine. You saved my life. You saved these people, and that's all I can ask.
Happy to do so.
Just yeah, if you want to find me, probably not try the new one. Actually, probably there's a it's a nice little hotel near the actual restaurant. And I'll be there, and I'll stay there for the night, and I guess if you see you in the morning, I'll see you there if you want, because I want to get out of here as soon as possible. And I'm just gonna start leaving.
Okay. As you move out, you head out the door. It takes you a moment to get your bearings and figure out how this building's laid out. But you find the main door soon enough.
I open the door. I walk into a closet.
I like to think that we see him go that way.
that way, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
you hear tumbling. Like, I'm alright. And then it's like, oh, that's the closet. And
You eventually make your way out of the door. It opens into a little cul-de-sac kind of area. Not very large, just a couple buildings surrounding this this small circular area. Back alley kind of leads out, small street leads out, heading in the direction of the main road. All roads tend to lead to the main road in Kimeria, as you know. Although further into the blights you get, the more crowded it gets and the harder it is to navigate. But at this stage, you can see the main road from here, and it's not too difficult to navigate your way out.
Sure. I've been around here many times, so I've been in the slums. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue. I'm gonna go to the restaurant.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay.
Oh. Do I notice him following me, or
Roll a perception check.
I mean-
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Not really.
Okay.
oh,
You're the only person that I know.
well, yeesh. That's 5.
Five.
I assume if he's
You-
not hiding, so
You do not. What's your passive perception?
oh,
My passive stealth
It's
is
your
15.
perception plus 10.
perception
I mean-
plus what? Perception plus 10. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, 11.
I think it's
11.
got natural on mine.
Yeah, you don't notice
Sure, that's fine.
behind you.
I'm gonna keep walking, and I'll head over to this restaurant, and I'm gonna have some nice food.
As you sit down at the restaurant, I sit across from you.
And there you notice him. John and Sariel, what are you doing seeing these two leave?
Once he shows interest in the bow, I'm gonna get ready to leave. And-
Once who?
Me.
Oh,
John.
I see. Right.
I'm not sure if I want to go to the restaurant or not. Hang on.
John, what are you doing?
Are you
Yes, yes, I do.
You do? Okay.
Okay, I like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's very Glenn.
Oh, so much.
I still think that he's probably going to stay in town, so I think we're going to take I'm not comfortable just walking around on 1 hit point, but I also realize that the potion's valuable, so I'm just going to stay in the infirmary.
Okay. Well, looks like it's just you and I for the rest of the day.
Looks like it.
Conversation.
I'll leave you to rest. And she walks out. The cabinet has been relocked behind her.
Yeah.
Leaves you be. You hear the door lock, but there is a latch on the inside.
Yeah.
So you are able to get out, but no one can get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can we
so,
just stay on you two and just watch the talk?
Are you
like, what
are
you
you just
doing?
gonna lay in
Go
bed
to
and
bed.
rest?
I'm gonna look through like the remains of my book and try and figure out exactly what I've lost.
Okay.
But that's gonna take a while.
Cool.
Because it's a big book.
Yeah, no worries. Roll an intelligence check for me. And then, so Sariel, you're heading to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. You follow behind them. You manage to catch up to them, and you have a rough idea of how the city's laid out. You're not particularly familiar with it. Most of your time has been spent outside the city, but you have been in here on occasion for a couple of smaller things. So you managed to make your way out to the Chine, which is the wealthy district, up onto the plateau where the whole district sits. And as you walk up this area, you look down upon the rest of the blights, the slums, across all of the kind of the shantytown buildings. And they are bustling. From this distance, you can see quite a few people. But the main road is only just starting to repopulate as people come out of their houses. It seems to be safer now. And as it gets further into the afternoon, you also see people heading home from the artisanal districts and the marketplace, heading back to their homes in either the Blights or the other districts around those areas. As you make the ascent, you start heading into the Chine itself, which is a very, very fancy area. It's not gated or anything, but you see the presence of the Kaim sentries does increase. There are more guards hanging around this area. The buildings themselves, the shortest of them, are 2 stories at the very least, and rather large. Usually with a lot of land as well surrounding them. Some of them even have their own small farms, and you can see servants or slaves working them, you don't know which. Continuing further on, you're close enough to Silkus and Archibald at this stage to be able to follow them without having to track them. And you see them enter a particular building where the sign on the front, it's not a hanging sign, it's just one that's affixed to the building itself, has in quite fancy script Nella's Grodalian. You two enter, you sit down, and then Archibald suddenly sits down across from you.
Ah, Archibald. So you did decide to come.
I have questions.
Well, I hope I have the answers.
I'm fairly certain you will to my main one.
I'm a bit of an open book. Just pick the right chapter.
How did a social person like you, who seems to know everyone in the city, end up in that alley to find me?
Really, it was just a bit of a coincidence. I was on my way to the butcher because he needed some help with some hammering some nails into the wall.
It was
It was a bit of a sign issue he had, and I know the guy. I traveled down here many times. It's actually my favorite place. It's the Grumpy Bard. It's one of the greatest.
Did you say Grumpy Bard?
Bob.
Yes.
It's one of the greatest pubs you ever want to go to. It's got the loveliest stench but the best ale. But sheer coincidence, I didn't expect to see you because I've looked at the winter posters many times as I go past, but it was just a complete sheer coincidence.
How
I'm
did
surprised.
you end up in the alley? Because the butcher's is not in sight of the alley.
Well, it's right nearby. It was more the fact there was actually now that I mention it, I do remember. There was some hooligan, something like a little early thief by the looks of it. He was busting out of the side of a building into the alley, and I caught him there, and he seemed to look like he stole something, and I wasn't sure he'd stole. So I'm just assuming stealing because really, I might have judged a little bit harsh there. But it was something that he ran off, and I was curious to know why he was running. So I ran after him, and then couldn't catch him. So I head back, and that's when I met you, which was quite the intrigue around you. Those tats. They're very, very interesting. I've studied a bit of magic. It's kind of my forte. But I've never seen something like that quite to the same extent.
The what languages do you know?
I remember. No, I don't.
At the
Oh,
top.
my languages. Up here, right. Common, Elvish, and Orcish.
Okay. The runes, you've studied magical runes.
Yeah.
You've studied umbral runes quite a lot. The runes, the tattoos are formed into all up and down the arms and body, and what you can see on the neck and face at the moment. They're vaguely familiar to you in nature, but you don't recognize the base language that they're derived from. Your own tattoo, you know the meaning of, you know why you have it. These ones are very different. Very, very different. The runes are dissimilar in every degree.
It's fairly interesting because I'm sure you know about. Probably not. Umbral, Arcana, the whole basis of our magic. What you have is very different from what's standard. And I just kind of I removed my robe a little bit, roll up the my sleeve, and you see that, and I show the umbral tattoo. This is what actually allows me to do my magic. Allows me to access the arcanes. The staff cane, it's a bit more of something that can help attune, a little bit more fluent. It's not. I don't really need it. No one really needs it as long as you got the tattoo. But I kind of like it. It's got a good nice aesthetics, really. I noticed you had a wand, and that's very interesting. Very interesting. It looks
Broke up with
exquisite.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
That is Silka's forte.
Actually, rolling an arcana check.
That's even more his forte. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh, so loud.
That's 7.
7.
Yeah, I rolled 2.
I mean, the +5's pretty impressive.
Because I want you to, and because this is something that you would know, roll again. Roll with advantage.
Do I have it? First advantage. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, first advantage.
Yeah, I didn't need hearing or smelling. I just need DM. Yes, that's better. 19.
Okay. The wand that is currently just kind of stuffed into his belt.
Do you mind? Do you mind if I just have a look at it? That's fair.
You see,
Point the tip down at the table.
That's even a better idea.
studying it, you give it a closer look, and it's
I
the
am
gems
really
that you
close.
saw inlaid in the handle. It's kind of got similar to a lot of Harry Potter ones, how they've got the handle and then they've got the main part of the wand. It's got a handle which is well hewn from the timber, made of a combination of essentially ebony and purple heart, so it's a black and purple style wand.
Yeah.
Up basically 4 sides of the circular handle are 4 very, very small inlaid gems, and these are, you recognize them as cubic zirconia, which is, based on your knowledge and your study, one of, if not the best conductors of Umbra. The actual triple helix, the two of the helixes are formed out of the timbers that also form the handle, and the last one, again through your studies, you recognize the metallic-y substance. It looks metallic. It's actually silicon carbide, another of the best umbral conductors. This wand is very, very well made, and you can tell that there is quite a lot of potential for use of this wand. It's something that you would never see outside of, in your experience, military.
It's just exquisite. It is probably the best conductor I've ever seen. I wonder if my brother might know. brother might know more about it. Anyway,
Egg?
what kind of drink would you like? I think it has exquisite wine here. And I just kind of like, excuse me, waiter, please.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
Sariel.
Absolutely, and at this point, Sariel does walk in, as you call over the waiter.
Samuel, take a seat. Put your
You
load
know I'm
off.
coming in with sulfur, right?
Yes.
Yes, come on. They'll be fine with it.
The waiter
They'll
gives
be
you a
fine
very
with it.
wary look as you walk in and see
I
them comparing sizes.
I give him a little gold, whatever it, put the gold.
Gold piece.
Gold piece, yeah, sorry. And it's like, don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
He just shrugs it off. They know you here. They know you well, and they're not going to mess with a member of the Neward family.
Yeah,
The waiter
you always
asks-
tip your waiters.
He pockets the gold coin and asks, "What would you like today?"
Say, I'll have my usual.
The usual, absolutely.
But for you, give me a list of your finest.
He lists a few of the dishes. Gradalian cuisine is very unique.
I almost got him to
Was
say,
that a
God damn
goodness?
it.
Hey?
Does Josh win?
No,
No.
he hasn't won yet.
New win.
Gradalian cuisine is very unique. If I were to liken it to a real world cuisine, it's African style cuisine. It's most of the ingredients and dishes you don't personally recognize, but you very much enjoy them. You know a few that are particularly recommended, and the waiter goes through a list and recommends a few to Archibald and yourself.
I do say you try the way they've done the pasta. It's very different.
It's
they-
not pasta, but it's close enough. I can see that.
I don't really know my food, but I
You
know what
said
I
the
like.
words African cuisine, and your mind went
Pasta. Wrong. I tell
I
you what,
just loved seeing that connection happen.
Yeah, it was a good connection.
it is something of a connection. Say, I do actually kind of feel have a bit of sweet tooth right now. I'm looking at something maybe pastry, something with a bit of cinnamon in it.
Absolutely, coming right up. I know exactly the one.
Thank you.
And the new friend. What would you like?
Simple.
Chef's recommendation.
Always the best recommendation.
And what is it?
He explains what it is.
We're that close.
That's
to
as far
breaking
as I'm
We're
going.
that close to breaking them.
What?
That
no,
is as far
I'm-
as I'm going.
I'm asking
Abraham has
for
taught me
act-
something, but not this
Hey,
much.
Mr. DM, I'm asking for actual character reasons. She's not going to want to eat rich food.
It's very rich food. This is the kind of food that you
So
only
she
find
wants
in
The
like.
literal simplest thing on the menu, like a fucking salad.
Okay.
Comes with
They
a-
have
comes
they
with
have
an
a
eyeglass.
he presents an option of like a almost a rice style dish. It's just kind of a plain rice with some seasoning. It's generally served as a side, but he offers it to you as a main if that's what you like.
Yes.
Oh, I've never tried that before.
Waiter heads off with your order.
So,
Your infirmary, yes.
Yep.
Well, considering you've can't remember where you were, where you've been, welcome. Welcome to this little city. I say little, it's actually quite the largest city in the world. But welcome either way. I'm sure you said you had some questions. Obviously you asked my first one. What's the other ones? I'll see what I can do.
Why?
Good
You
start.
being you,
Me and Bimini, yeah,
you probably know.
absolutely.
Why does everyone hate me? Why am I hunted for 50,000 gold?
That's
Why am I
nothing
that
to sneeze at.
valuable?
It's not a bad price. I think it might be within the answer within your tattoos. It's very different, and it looks like when you cast your spell before, I noticed against the one with the steed, it glowed. I'm not sure whether or not.
Have you considered perhaps they want to study you?
It's quite possible. This
I mean, the nurse said it was the tech capital, right?
this kind of thing does not come past commoner?
I thought that was Usun.
You saying, yeah. So
Example.
the nurse was saying that the rumors stated that the orders for the bounty were placed via or from someone in Yusen, someone powerful in Yusen. Obviously, it was
So somebody
enacted by
in-
Chimerian
and
authorities,
Yusen
but
wants him caught.
Look,
that's what it seems.
Look, I might
That's what I thought I heard.
be able to find the answers, but gotta be honest, I'm not really wanting to go there. It's a bit of a tight thing there, but I'm sure we can find something out without causing much trouble. As long as the ropes you got on you, you should keep yourself at least low key, low profile. I am kind of curious about you and the wolf. That's my curiosity. I'm not really accustomed to seeing accustomed to seeing wolves around. Definitely up this way. If you don't mind, what's your story? You said I don't recall your name. I don't remember that, but beyond that, I don't really think I've got to ask anything. Was I unconscious at that point?
I think.
Did I black
Yes,
out at
you
some
were.
point?
You did.
I probably did. Yeah.
She does have a name. You don't. You
Oh, I'm
call-
sorry. I turned to the wolf. What's your name?
His
Her
name's
name is
Sulfur.
Sulfur.
Sulfur. That's actually a really lovely name. I like that. How long in you Sulfur been? It sounds like you're the type that brought her up. Probably got it from a wee pup. My guess.
Her parents raised me.
Okay, quite the opposite. I might have got that on the wrong coin. Other side. Okay.
They're siblings, just like you and Eggs.
Who's Eggs?
You said Eggs Benedict, so I
Why
thought
did I
that
say
was your
that?
brother.
Oh, I was hungry for eggs at one point. I don't remember anything else.
So that's not your brother's name?
No, my brother's name. We don't have to worry about them. They're not really interesting at all.
No, but what's his name?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cardell.
Kal-El?
Cardell.
Okay. I thought you were going for Superman.
Yeah. Brother is Superman.
You want to write that in? That's going to be a valuable note
I'm just
later.
gonna double check on that name, but I'm pretty sure he was called Cardell. No. Yes. Hold on. Yes, actually, that was correct. Haha.
Glad that you know your own backstory.
I'm glad so.
You're a lot better than me.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I got Cardell. This whole family thing. We don't. So the wolves, you brought you siblings. That's kind. I feel like there'll be a bit of a communication gap between. I don't really know my animals.
That's a wolf.
Well, I kind of got that
I
bit.
knew that.
Oh, you remember what a wolf is? That's very
Well,
good.
she said that earlier.
Well, you at least remembered it.
They-
So amnesia's not keeping.
You know, are not all that unintelligent.
I never said that. Communication, you speak, well, common. I assume you speak Elven, and I say that in Elven.
Apparently I do too.
Yeah, do you know Elven? Is that part of your? Okay, because I have your languages,
glad
but I'd
you
have to go
remember
into
his
my
languages.
I'd have to go into my notes. As he speaks,
You get more curious
as he
every
speaks
day.
Elven, you recognize the words. You know that they're different, and you recognize them. So you can add that to your character sheet if you would like.
So, if that's the case, what language does the wolf speak? Beyond howling. Okay.
Lupine.
Look,
Just because she doesn't speak common does not mean she doesn't speak.
I never said she didn't speak. I just found it a little bit weird.
Have you not ever heard of body language?
Not really.
As I say
Not at all.
that there's body language, I want to point out that she's got a growl because she's kind of insulted.
I mean, not disrespect.
Sulfur growls.
She can't like
It's more just kind of like
communicate.
I don't really know this kind of thing. It's no offense.
I have nothing against you, but perhaps you should apologize.
I turn to Sylvia. I'm like, my apologies.
She stops growling.
So, your sisters. That's actually. I'm sure you got a better. You guys relate a bit better than I do with my siblings.
Has
Where's the
anyone
food?
actually looked at her?
I have looked.
Like,
Well, yes.
actually looked at her?
Yeah. What's she look? What's the description of her?
She's mostly grey, so all across her back, her tail, from her ears back, is all grey. She has whites on her face, from her chin down through her chest, and she has dark, almost hexagonal markings on her eyes, around her eyes. And her eyes are the exact same colour as mine.
Any chance you're twins?
No.
That's actually kind of cool. I'm not. I actually kind of like that. I grew up. Well, not exactly the most modest ways. So and I pretty much grew up in here, so I don't really spend much time in the woods. So I don't really know much about animals. So the food,
You might
where
want
the
to change
food
that
is.
sometime.
At this point, it's only been like 15 minutes. Generally, the food takes around an hour to prepare, especially for a group of this size. So, did I say an hour? I meant to say half an hour.
That's so. Please.
I had half an hour in my head and I didn't say it. But you can see the chefs in the back moving around, making food. It's not particularly well populated in here at the moment. It is just mid-afternoon, so it took you about an hour to travel from the infirmary to where you are. So you're approaching evening, but there still aren't many patrons at the moment. So your food will probably come a little quicker than normal.
But I'm kind of curious. You have a wand. Have magical tattoos. You know how to cast spells of some sort. Yet you have no memory of doing so. Do you actually know any spells? Obviously you cast, but do you actually know that you cast?
I don't know their names. I have flashes of what I need to do to cast them, and then I do it.
Well, one of the spells you did cast was Prestidigitation and Mending. They're just little cantrips of sorts. They're basic spells, but still to do them is actually quite impressive.
Yes, well,
You seem to be very adept with it, almost like you're born of it. It's very interesting. And I start. I take out out of my my bag. Take out a book. It's kind of grey, basic bland color. Open it up and I start just writing basic notes. Basically, of everything that's been talked about, I start writing
Okay.
notes down.
You see him do this. He starts to take notes. He just buries his head in the book and starts taking notes.
Basically, my cane opens up with a little slot where a little quill kind of pops out, and I'm like, and I start writing. I dip it back in.
right.
Start writing down.
Oh wow. As you start writing notes, I'm gonna look at Sariel, look at the wolf, and notice that they've got the same eye color, which is
Gold.
Yeah, right.
Very gold.
Blue
Very,
gold.
very bright gold.
Blue gold. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Blonde.
Sorry, I missed that
Lol.
part of the description.
Yeah, I think
That's
I said
okay.
it right. I've missed a few things note-wise here, but that's fine. Silkus hasn't yet.
So, John, back at the infirmary,
Yeah.
are you starting to just rest? You're just trying to
Like-
get some sleep now, or
My plan is to spend the night here, like get up to a point where I'm feeling healthy, and then find Silkus in the morning.
okay?
Unless I get interrupted, that's what I'm doing.
Assume
so-
we assume we
You
start
all
eating.
you all stay at the restaurant. You start eating.
The prime
The food
stuff.
is. I mean, you don't really have much to gauge it against, but the drunkard's latrine that you tasted earlier when you hit the cobblestones back in that alley. This is a lot better than
and that
that.
beef jerky.
Sariel, this
do
is.
either of them have particularly meaty meals, like with a lot of meat?
There's a lot of meat involved in these meals. It's
So
generally a
whichever
mix
one
of
seems
this.
meatier.
It's generally a mix of pasta-like foods and meat. Silkus knows that
African.
it's mostly these are mostly exotic meats.
That doesn't
I say
really-
pasta like. you like to look up of African foods, and also rice. Rice is also in there a lot as well. The meat itself. Yeah, there you go. Look, see, and there's where was the
actually
one that
never
I
even
saw?
tried.
That one there.
I've never tried African food.
It's so spicy. Like, oh my god, I had a handful once, and it's just like, oh.
You do see like mild
whichever
sweats, but like
of
it's
their
barely
meals-
anything.
Looks more meaty. Sulphur's gonna like go put her head on one of them.
Definitely Archibald's looks more meaty at this stage. He ordered a particularly meaty one. It's also very spicy. Roll a constitution save for me.
I'm going to take one of the bits of food.
You have absolutely no problem with that.
Yep. I'm going to. I'm gonna pat Sulfur on the head and give her food.
I'm going to be like
Some meat.
grab my fork, bit of food, and I go to Self. I'm like,
That was a 21.
I'm kind of like
Yeah, no.
cautiously just like handing some food so Self can eat. Like, it's really good stuff. Like,
The wait staff tend to be steering pretty clear of sulfur, but they're not telling you to leave. And so far, this even though you ordered a very plain dish, it's still probably the best food you've ever eaten.
I'm just like turned to I'm just like, don't worry about the staff. They don't want to really kick up a fuss with a new one. It's my father kind of has a little. Yeah, there's a lot of respect.
You
His
keep
position.
talking about your father.
Oh, why shouldn't I? He's quite a powerful man.
What does
Everyone kind
how-
of knows him.
like powerful as in magic, or powerful as in
Well, he's kind of military-esque. When I say military-esque, I mean military basic. As in, he's one of the top tier.
you and Big Daddy?
Wow.
Is
Wow.
General
military-
Benedict.
John Benedict.
Military general.
He's powerful in both magic and military. He's the Archmage.
Archmage.
So, to be fair, and they'll be all able to find out the answer, but I don't think it'd be the best place to go.
As he mentions
Davis.
Archmage and you make the connection with the Chimerian military, you hear in the back of your head this, and then nothing. It didn't feel like it was one of your thoughts, but it certainly seemed to come from your head.
You're right there. Seemed like you just kind of went a bit pale.
Yeah, I'm fine. I keep eating.
All right.
And I'm just kind of like writing down. I was like, can't stand spicy.
So you finish off your meals. You all packing up for the night. Are you all heading over to the accommodation that Silkus has recommended?
I'm going back to the
Is-
infirmary.
Going back to the
I actually
infirmary.
want to go there. I mean, this place I can shout for you, no problem.
Sorry, what was that? Huh?
Does it look expensive?
Oh, very. This is
Well,
a
I will
very tall tower.
politely indicate that I cannot do so.
Okay.
Your
So you head
choice.
back to the infirmary as well? Silkus, knowing this, are you going to stay in the tower or are you going to...
I mean, beggars can't be choosers, but I ain't no beggar. So,
So you're staying in the tower. Okay.
yeah, I'm going to stay in the tower.
You remain in the shine. You remain in the shine while Archibald and Sariel both head back down to the Blights. John, you're just kind of resting, and then the door swings open, and in come Sariel and Archibald with Sulphur in tow.
Yep.
You all bed down for the night. You find your room. Again, a regular at this place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a home?
Everyone knows you. You find your room. You all start to get some rest, thinking over the events of the day, and that is where we're going to end the session.
Hey, we almost died. But it was
Almost,
all planned by me.
almost died. You say?
All my plan.
Oh, my plan.
Oh, my plan.
Oh, my single plan.
The one thing I have. And it went at one hit.
So, session 1.
Aye.
I'm pretty happy
That was
with
fun.
that. It
was
is a
fun.
lot nicer being in a world that I know as opposed to one I made up 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. When you prep it, man.
I know
it's
the
great.
feeling.
With the end of the session, of course, comes the giveaway.
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 Let's just get that on the battle.
Yep, that's a good idea. That's a
Battle mat.
fantastic idea, actually. Oh, it's so bright. There's a light directly on it. There we go.
Yeah. And
So,
Yep.
we're giving that away. We ran the giveaway. We have tallied up all the
really
entries from both Twitter and Twitch. Remembering that you only got an entry on Twitter if you liked and retweeted the tweet and followed us on the account. The winner
Dun, 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 dun.
of today's giveaway is, drumroll please, the mics are gonna hate that,
You guys are actually the worst.
actually the worst.
I'm sure there are way worse.
Trolleyman77
Trolley
in
Man.
chat.
Trolley!
My friend.
You win
That
the
is actually
Google
a
Home
good
Mini.
name.
We will be in contact with you
Trolley Man.
to organize shipping and all that jazz.
Trolley Man.
Jazz hands.
The hero of Woolworths.
Yes, and maybe Cole sometimes if it feels like it.
Who cares about Coles? He's very picky.
So, thank you everybody so much for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure running the first session of Genova's
Fucking
campaign.
fun.
I am
That was
very
fun.
impressed and slightly disappointed in all of us because you did not say, God damn it.
I tried.
It's yet to happen.
I
Session
made-
2, maybe you'll do it.
I made so many of things like, hey, this is a building that he knows because I'm like, of course. I was so close to getting him. So close. So fucking- Anyway,
You know that I
Next
made
session.
up the name of that restaurant
I actually thought you.
after you mentioned you were going to a restaurant. I was like, okay, quick, go to the names.
And then
and then later you asked, and I was like, okay, I got the name for it.
Perfect.
I was writing it down when you asked what the name was, and I was
Mate.
like, perfect timing, couldn't have been better.
Breaking.
The struggles of being a DM.
Well,
I
opening
did
the
not expect them
curtains.
to go that direction. I'll be honest, I didn't actually plan far enough for that. But
Don't peek the curtains, dude. Don't peek behind the curtains.
no, don't.
No.
But it
Don't
just
do
goes
that.
to show.
The adventuring
I'm
party
shit,
shall be
basically.
bringing the Google Home Mini.
Yep, exactly
Wow.
right. They're going to carry it all the way
with
to
my-
you.
Yeah, with my -1 to strength.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm stronger than you.
But small and mighty, says the Google Home
hey,
Mini.
I got good con, so I got con. I can do
But
that.
you're big and weak, so who knows?
Actually, not too. Wait, did I actually say my height? No, he's like
No.
about taller than me, like 5'10". So it's like.
No, that's just not believable.
Anything's taller than you.
like,
Um,
wow.
I
That
mean,
is like.
from his
factually not-
perspective.
Oh, from everyone's
yeah.
Godzilla thinks
You all
that
look the
skyscrapers
same to
are
me.
short, man. Look, Godzilla thinks skyscrapers short.
Thank you everyone for being here so much. We very much appreciate it. Remember
you.
to please chuck us a follow if you enjoyed, if you would like to see more of this content. Also subscribe. Your support and bits as well. Your support will be very much appreciated and will go directly back into making this stream a better stream.
if you are watching on Twitch, the subscribe button is over that direction.
Something.
Somewhere over,
If
yeah,
you
over-
are
up there
watching on
somewhere.
YouTube, the subscribe button is down there. But you should
there.
subscribe to both of those because we do upload VODs, and I'm
Yes, we do.
assuming more content might be coming to the YouTube channel if I can ever be asked to make it.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot more
Yep.
happening at some point.
Also, join our Discord. If you'd like to
Hey.
chat with us between sessions, feel free. It's down in the panels below. You can see the big
Sometimes I
Discord
might
thing.
check it.
Sometimes some of us might check it.
I opened the app
Um,
a little while ago, and now I get nothing but notifications.
If you talk in
Proud of
there,
you.
one of us will respond.
I'm not.
Guarantee that. It's probably going to be me or him
Or
or Hannah
You'll get a sarcastic reply
Or
from me.
Anna.
or Anna. Someone.
It's just not this side of the table, if
Yeah.
I'm honest. We're kind of bad at it.
Just
but-
because we're out of the session right now, I wouldn't
Teams
usually
be
do this.
for
But
life.
Mr. Cosmos, thank you for another. Wait, no, that was a subscription.
Hey!
Woo! First subscription.
You mean,
Your
hold on.
Cosmos.
You mean we can eat?
No!
Fuck!
No, not yet.
You can never eat.
When will I be allowed? I just.
When you stop bringing apples to recording sessions.
Come on, man.
Weird
Look.
containers filled with ham.
Crunch. That was 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Actually, yeah, it would be about 2 years.
Probably like 2 months ago, to be fair, but
Look,
I didn't even know
crunchier,
you
the
two
better
much.
the
I'm just going to bring
sandwich.
a thing of pickles next time.
This is your house.
Spontaneous
This is
transfunction.
your-
Yeah, I'll just bring a thing of pickles from our fridge to here.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thanks for the
Follow us on
subscription.
Twitter.
You are fucking awesome.
Follow us everywhere. Thank you for the subscription. First ever subscription.
Also,
That's
if you
went
don't
fantastic.
straight
have
to
the
our
money
hearts.
to subscribe, you can just follow us on
Yeah,
Twitch. That's
seriously,
fine.
we appreciate
what
it
I
just
do.
as
We
much.
won't
cheap.
hold it against you for the first couple of months.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
yeah.
day after second month is where we really get
Yeah,
judgmental.
it's like planned obsolescence.
Yes.
Yeah.
But speaking of planned obsolescence,
Until next time, take it easy
Yeah, and breezy.
and
New
breezy.
York.
New York.
that was terrible. You all should be
was so
ashamed of
off-key.
yourself.
You think?
So
you
off
think
key.
I would? But no.
Okay, you guys procrastinated at the start of the session. Now you procrastinate at the end of the session.
We never
We
procrastinate. We know
never
exactly what
procrastinate.
we're doing. We don't improv. What are you talking about? We're still on.